guys, and welcome back here to the Dev Realm, and today we're going to be carrying on our series. And what we did on the last episode is that we just started to create our base system for all the medium window size that we're doing. Now if I press play, as you guys can see, I have my window right there. And now what we're going to do here is just create the button to close this window here. Right, so to do this, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna search for the btn or button with icon. It's gonna drag and drop right here, and here's gonna ask for the icon that we're using. So I'm just gonna align this guy like that, here, and 0.5 and 0.5. Now it's gonna ask for the icon, right? So it's gonna edit this guy. I just noticed that there's no way we can actually change that icon right now, which is not ideal. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna select my image. I'm gonna create here get. I'm gonna call the API set value, right? And we're gonna put here the icon. Also, I'm going to remove the button name because I don't need that. Make sure this is public and make sure you expose that on the spawn. Right, I'm going to create here a custom event and custom event. I'm going to call API set value, right? Plug it right there. And as usual, we're just gonna basically get our icon. We're gonna reassign the icon, and we're gonna put it right here. Now, oh, that's the wrong one. I'm just gonna put the icon right there. Cool. Now, what we can do here is the same thing. We're just gonna call API set value, and we just put the icon that we want to pass, right? Compile and save. Now, if you see, the icon is gonna be empty. The next thing you gotta do is we go back to textures, we're gonna go back to icons, and now what we're gonna do is drag this guy right here. I'm just gonna export this for now, and I'm gonna go back to here. No, downloads UI. I'm just gonna t.close. Right. Now I'm gonna go back to my window right here. Slot icons, or actually just icons here, and then I'm just gonna put it right there. Save all. Cool. Now what we can do, just gonna close all this stuff, is titles, where is it, window, right. Select this guy, and I'm gonna search for this icon right there, and let's see how does it look like. Let's see, does it look like the design? Let me have a look. Yep, I think it looks quite close. Yep, see, looks like the design, which is great. Now, what we can actually do next is, if you guys remember, we have like a little ornament in here that we can actually add. So let's go ahead and add this guy here. This is really easy. So I'm gonna go back to my combo selection, to the window MD, back. And in here, I'm gonna add ornament, ornament. And it's gonna be a texture. Now I'm gonna save all, go back to this, and in here I'm just gonna export this little guy here, export it, downloads UI medium, and I'm gonna call t-ornament. Nice. Now what we can do here is back to our UI, back to our window. Drag and drop here, right? plug it right there. Nice. Now I'm just gonna save everything. Next thing we gotta do, I'm just gonna close all this stuff to the right, don't need it. To add the ornaments really easy, we're just gonna add an image right here. We're gonna just call this image ornament. Let's make sure we set this value first. So what we can actually do here is that we're gonna set texture from brush whatever. Yeah. Now we're gonna get the UI, get UI settings. And now we're gonna break this stuff. And now we are gonna go and I'm just gonna break this one as well. And he's gonna ask for the ornament, right? Plug it right this, compile and save. That throws an error. It's just because we forgot to save again. But anyway, it's just something Unreal Engine occasionally does that for us. So what we're gonna do next is we're just waiting for this to load, but we're gonna I think we're gonna have to rebuild that part. There you go. Right, yeah, we're gonna have to rebuild this part. Anyway, but while we do this, let me just double check. Did I save? The ornament is in there. Is this saved here? No. Yes, it is. Cool. Right. So let's just do the image first. Let's do the background first. Let's get the box. Right. Border. Come back here. We are gonna get a border, and we're gonna set the texture. Get UI settings. It's gonna break this guy, right? And in here we're gonna get this. We're gonna break this, and we're gonna just put a window right there. Now the next, we're gonna compile and save. That should already be, working, which is great. And now let's add the ornament again. Let's get that image right there. We're gonna align this image. It doesn't matter where we align. We're just gonna call ornament for now. I just want to make sure this works first. Go back, so we're gonna set the texture. Set texture set texture from here. Plug this one right now, align those properly, and let's check what's gonna happen. Compile and save. As you can see, that work, but let's check how it should work right here. So first of all, is aligned kind of in the middle as well. So let's align this right in the middle. Right. Let's add the position. Let's set the position to, I don't know, 100 or maybe 50. All right. Now I was gonna check the size. So the size is going to be maybe 600 by 64. No, that's too much. By 30. By 40 is good. 40 is good. You know, the position here, let's put maybe 60 or 70. Let's see, how does it look? Should I press play? How does it look? Let's check. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Let's have a look on the design. Let's put this stuff side by side and compare. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. On here it looks a little bit bigger. So what we can actually do here, maybe we can just, I don't know, maybe put 50 here. Yeah, that looks good. Looks good. Doesn't look too bad. Nice. So we got a very cool design window for us here. Right. So the next thing that we got to do here, if you guys notice on our design, you can add these buttons if you want. You know what? Yeah, why not? Let's make so they are like a option. So what we're gonna do here is that we're gonna create a horizontal box, right? Plug this horizontal box right there, and for the horizontal box, I'm gonna search for BTN button. button, right? And I'm gonna have these buttons in here. I'm gonna have this one and another one. Compile and save. So why is that not working? There's something wrong with those buttons. Let me have a look. Because they're not loading properly. Let's check here. Okay. I don't know what's going wrong with those buttons. Button. Okay. I think it's to do with we just gonna have to wrap this inside here. But anyway, I'll show you what I mean. So I'm gonna just wrap this with horizontal box, right? So they're aligned horizontally. And we should size this to content. Okay. Could size it to content. But the problem that we have here is that, let me just edit the button again, because they have a scale box on that, right? Because here, if you check, let's do the UI first. Let's do the rough design, and then let's see what's gonna happen. Then from there we can work. Let's put 05, 05. So what I did here is just align everything on 5. I'm gonna make sure it's sized to content so everything gets aligned properly, right? So all I did here, mark a size to content. We're gonna make sure it anchors right here on the bottom, position 0, position Y0. Make sure the alignment is 0.5 for both, and that's it. Right, so let's create the first one. So this is gonna be btn no, right? And it's gonna be btn yes. Right, so for the no button, we're just gonna basically say no. And we have an image. We don't, so we need to update this button to be able to add an image. And I think that's something that I missed. Yeah, I missed to do that. For some reason I missed. Anyway, so we're gonna API set value. We're gonna create here a custom event that will allow us to do this custom event. We're gonna go API set value image, or let's go icon. Plug right that, and now we're gonna promote this to a variable called icon. Make sure this is exposed on spawn and is public as well. So we're gonna set this value right there, here, plug it right here, and go right there. Nice. Now what we're gonna do here is set the image. You can comment if you want. Right now we're just gonna expose from here, and we are gonna put the icon right there. Now this should be blank, so if you check, it should be just a blank button. Go back to test UI, everything is blank. But what we can do here is that we can load images, right? Let me just change this to yes. Now what I'm gonna do is compile and save. For this button here, now we're gonna go back to icons. So let's go back to our Inkscape. Let me just ungroup this. I'm gonna export this guy, and I'm just gonna go back to UI, icons, T, check mark. That's the one. Now we can just go back to here, go back, icons, and bring the T check mark. Right. So we're gonna save all. Cool. Now what we gotta do is for the no we put a no, and for the yes we put the yes guy here. Cool. Nice. Now let's check how the design look. So on the design we have the buttons, they kind of cover, they fill all the space, right? So let's see if we can actually fill all the spacing here. Right, so we got this. Can we extend it? Doesn't look like we can. Maybe size to content. Maybe what we gotta do is wrap with a scale box, and then we can change the scale box size. That doesn't look good. Maybe instead of, no, let's revert this and let's put it like this, but instead of sizing to content, let's unmark this data. So we're gonna put, so they align like that. So 0, position 0, 0, 0, 6, 700. That's the size that we're looking for. Cool. Now in here, we could put fill on both of them, right? We could make it so they straight up a little bit, so it gets a little bit smaller. Let's see how does it look here. Yeah, I think it does look quite good. It doesn't look too bad, to be honest. So let's see. Yeah, let's just compare with the design. Yeah, on the design, as you can see, the buttons are on the left, but to be honest, is when I did this, I was in a rush. I wanted to design on the middle, but that looks quite good to me. Yeah. Now, before we can wrap up this part of the series, we may gonna need to do another part to figure out the rest here. I'm just gonna create options so we can hide and show and wire the events up. All right. So, first thing we're gonna do here is that we're gonna call this the how can I call this, the yes and no buttons, right? Now the next thing we're gonna do, make sure this is a variable. On the begin play, we're gonna bring this guy here and we're gonna set the visibility. All right, how's the other one? Set visibility. Cool. Now we're gonna plug this guy right here. Next thing you're gonna do here is gonna do a select. And the next thing we are going to do here is going to create a variable called select. Display yes and no btns. Right, plug it right there. Make sure this is public and you expose this on spawn. By default, we're going to mark this as false, just because I don't want to display the buttons. But let's basically, if it's visible, if it's true, visible, if it's false, collapsed. Compile and save. As you can see now, that should work every time. Now let's wire the buttons events, right? So to do this, I'm just gonna do that quite quickly. I'm gonna get both these and these button yes here, right? I'm gonna create two events dispatchers, and I'm gonna call the first event on btn no, and I create another one on btn yes, right? And I'm just gonna call the dispatch and call the dispatch event. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bind event on button clicked. Same for this guy here. Bind event on button clicked. And now I'm going to create here a custom event called API btn yes. It doesn't matter the name of the event. We're just going to use internally. And I'm gonna create another one, a custom event called API btn no, right? Plug it right there. And that should be everything you need to access those events from the outside in here. So now we have a shop. We also have to do the event to close this window as well. Let's do that one. That one is quite easy as well. We're just gonna do this. Go back here. Bind event on button clicked, and then we're gonna create another event here called btn close, right? And we're gonna create a custom event and call btn close API dash btn close, and from here we just call this guy. And now from this, just before we wrap up this part, what you can do, you get this window on your begin play. What you can do, you do bind event on close, bind event to btn close, and then you can just create your custom event. And what you can do here is that you got this window and you can remove from parent. So what's gonna happen, press play, it will hide the window for you, pretty much. It will delete it actually. So yeah guys, once again, thank you very much for watching, and I see you guys in the next one.